Tonight's story takes us to a bustling county town, where a successful business family finally decided to settle into a permanent home. They purchased a 3-story building. The first floor served as their shop, the second was for the grandparents, and the third was for the rest of the family. It seemed like the perfect setup for a prosperous life, but the atmosphere shifted the moment the grandmother passed away. Following her funeral, the family hung her memorial portrait on the first floor, right by the entrance. Little did they know, her presence had never truly left those walls. The terror began on a night when the granddaughter returned home after 11 o'clock, exhausted from a long shift. As she parked her bike and glanced at her grandmother's portrait, the old woman's smile seemed as kind as ever. But once the girl fell into a deep sleep, that kindness vanished. In a vivid dream, the grandmother appeared, her voice soft at first, telling the girl there was money hidden beneath her old mattress. She insisted it was a gift. When the granddaughter, too tired to care, refused the offer, the grandmother's face twisted with rage. Her voice became a harsh command, demanding the girl take the money. The dream ended in a shouting match, with the girl screaming at the spirit to leave her alone. The next morning, reality became far more frightening than the dream. The granddaughter awoke to find herself completely paralyzed, her body feeling as heavy and stiff as a block of wood. Her eyes were fixed on the ceiling, and when she tried to speak, her throat felt as if it had been scorched by fire, allowing only raspy, guttural sounds to escape. When her mother finally forced her way into the room, she found her daughter cold and rigid. As the girl struggled to describe the dream of the grandmother and the hidden money, the mother's face drained of color. She revealed that after the grandmother's death, they had indeed found a stack of ritual road money under the mattress, money the grandmother had intended to take with her to the afterlife. The horror peaked when the mother shared her own experience from that same night. She claimed the grandfather, who was bedridden on the second floor and physically unable to walk, had suddenly appeared in her third-floor bedroom. He had stood by her bed, claiming the old lady had returned and entered the room. The family rushed to the second floor to confront the grandfather, only to find him tucked tightly into bed, appearing as though he hadn't moved an inch. He denied ever leaving his room. However, the evidence on the floor told a different story. On a thin layer of dust and moisture, a trail of wet, small footprints led from the door directly back to the bed. The marks were unmistakable. They belonged to someone walking with a cane, tiptoeing through the dark. The footprints didn't lead out of the room. They led into the bed, suggesting that whatever had been wandering the house had climbed back under the covers just as the family arrived.